For centuries, it was believed that Columbus was the first European in the New World. That was until archaeologists in the 1960s found it was the Vikings who were the first Europeans, beating Columbus by 500 years. Or were they? Irish legends talk of a visit across the Atlantic by Irish monks, led by Saint Brendan, and this journey beat the Vikings by nearly 500 years more. Today we will learn about Brendan the Navigator, examine how evidence from World War II navigators suggests it really happened, and ask, were the Irish the first Europeans in the New World? This is Knowledge Voyage.
But before this video starts, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell so that you can get all of our weekly videos about history. Thank you.
Columbus was once hailed as the first European in the New World, until evidence emerged Vikings led by Leif Erikson beat him, and we have a short video on this which you may find interesting. But were the Vikings who beat Columbus to the New World beaten by another group of Europeans, the Irish? Centuries before the Irish became Christian, Celtic legends spoke of a mysterious land of the blessed, which lay at the end of the vast ocean to the west of Ireland. This land, known as Tir Anoch in the Irish language, was the afterlife for Irish Celts, and believed to be a physical, real location. Even after Ireland became Christian, many believed in a mysterious land across the ocean. Sometime in the 6th century, an Irish monk named Brendan was ordered to sail across Europe spreading the faith. He sailed to parts of Scotland, France and England, but it was his next journey that made him famous. Brendan made the decision to sail to the New World after meeting a mysterious monk named Barinthius, who told him he had visited a blessed land that lay to the far west. Brendan assembled a group of monks and set off. His journey was recorded in the Voyage of Saint Brendan, which for centuries was believed to be a legend, until recently. Paul H. Chapman served in the Battle of the Atlantic and became familiar with the coasts, islands and landscape of the Atlantic. When he examined accounts of Brendan's voyage, he began to recognise places Brendan had described. Chapman wrote a book which convincingly suggests Brendan was describing real places in the Atlantic, and therefore he really did make it to the Americas. For example, Brendan mentions visiting an island full of sheep, and the Norse word for sheep is Faroe, and gave its name to the Faroe Islands. Brendan also makes reference to a garden in the ocean, and to someone unfamiliar with the sea, it sounds like an imaginary place. But for Chapman, who flew over the Atlantic many times in World War II, this sounds like a real place. This is almost certainly a reference to the Sargasso Sea, a region of the Atlantic notorious for its build-up of seaweed and other plant material. This suggests the garden in the ocean that Brendan described was the Sargasso Sea. Brendan's writings then mention a sea that, unlike the garden in the ocean, is so crystal clear they can see fish and coral. And this sounds like Grand Bahama, and again sounds like an accurate account of a journey moving further west across the Atlantic. Brendan then mentions an iceberg in the ocean surrounded by a strange curtain. This is almost certainly a reference to Greenland, which, due to air currents, can sometimes develop large and striking sheet clouds off the coast, looking like a curtain. After sailing east from this point, Brendan and his party witnessed an island with a large amount of both ice and fire, with terrible noises coming from it. The most likely candidate for this is Iceland, an island notorious for its volatile volcanic activity. This would explain the noise and the fire. Interestingly, the 7,000 feet tall mountain, Orafayokul, is found close to the route Brendan probably would have taken, and it is known to have been an active volcano during the century that Brendan would have passed it. The monks then sailed to an island that sounds very much like Rockall, where they encountered an Irish hermit, and from there, the monks continued home to Ireland, where there was, quote, great rejoicing as the brothers returned home to their monastery at Clonfert. Based on Chapman's analysis, Brendan is describing real places on a real journey, and in 1976, explorer Tim Severin built a replica of Brendan's boat, and proved that this type of ship could make it to one side of the Atlantic and back, even with the technology of Brendan's day. There is one more interesting twist in this tale. In the year 1000, Vikings led by Leif Erikson travelled to the New World. They stated that the men they met there wore robes, carried long sticks, and spoke a language that sounded like Irish. This could suggest that Brendan wasn't the last Irishman to visit the New World before Columbus.
Thanks for watching everyone. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.